Hello fellow collectors and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at the newly renamed Shokugan modeling project, GaoKing, from Hyakujuu Sentai Gaoranger. So they used to be called Super Mini Plot, now they're called Shokugan Modeling Project. Not really sure why they renamed it, but they did keep the same acronym of SMP. The outer packaging is pretty basic, it's just kind of a white and green motif, but still some cool artwork here. You just have GaoKing, you have the 5 Mecha. Over on this side, kind of a different pose. Over here we have the Gaorangers, and then again just another pose on this side. I assume they kind of skimp on the paint for the pictures here because they assume the outer box will be thrown away. If we open it up, you can see that there are 3 boxes on the inside. Now my boxes are already open because I've already built this. But if we go ahead and pop this out, we can at least take a look at the packaging here. So full color packaging here, really nice mock-up. We have GaoKing, we have the 5 Mecha, we have the Gaorangers down here. The first box has Gao Lion and Gao Eagle. The second box has Gao Shark and Gao Tiger. And then Gao Bison is by himself in the third box. And on the side, again, just some cool pics of the Mecha. You have that kind of sled mode they can all ride. You have the 5 Mecha, you have GaoKing up here. Over on this side, really just some warnings and whatnot. And then this just shows you what's included in this box. And then around to the back, again, really colorful. Really like the look of this packaging design. Very fun. You also get a little tease down here for Gao Muscle, which is the next one in the line. So without further ado, let's go ahead and take a closer look. They're all built, they're all stickered. Let's go ahead and check it out. So here are the 5 Mecha, fully assembled and stickered up. Yes, there are some stickers in this set. I'll point them out as we go. Now, the individual mecha can be kind of tiny. I mean, obviously, Bison's pretty big, but the rest are fairly small. Now, when you put them all together, GaoKing is a good size, and he does kind of fit in keeping with the other Super Mini Plow robots that we've seen. But just for a little size comparison here is a Lego minifigure. So you can see a lot of these mecha are not super huge. But like I said, it all makes sense when you put it all together. So we'll start over here with Gao Lion. He looks really good. They did a nice job with this. Mouth can open and close. This piece here is kind of meant to push this piece back up. Now when it gets pushed in, and we'll get there a little bit later, it can be kind of difficult to get out, but this is kind of meant to help push it up a little bit. You can see we have the pegs here for the arms, just like the original toy. They just kind of sit here off to the side. It would have been neat if there was a way to kind of hide these a little better, but it's not really that big a deal. Articulation-wise, we do have movement here in the leg, as well as another joint here, and then you have a ball joint in the actual like paw ankle. You have movement here as well. You have a hinge back here, and again the ball joint. The tail can move. Don't really have any movement in the waist of the lion, but not that it would make sense to have it in the first place. So like I said, you can see just kind of handling it, this naturally tends to fall down, and it's a little difficult to kind of get it to stay up. But sometimes you kind of just have to use something to kind of get it out of there. I tend to use like the pliers that I use to apply stickers. You can kind of get it down in there and lift it back up. That's kind of my only complaint about the lion. It's very easy to accidentally push that down, and it is kind of difficult to get it out. And then later on when we do the combination, it's going to be really difficult to get back out. The head does slide a little forward. Again, this is for the transformation, but that is possible there. So yeah, Gao Lion looks really good. And I don't think he has any stickers. I think everything is either paint or different plastic. It's paint for all the little claws. The head is fully painted. I think is he the only one that doesn't have any stickers? Yeah, I think he might be. He might be the only one that has absolutely no stickers. But he looks good. Next up, we will move on to Gao Eagle. As you can see, the entire head of the robot is down here, but you can see it is hidden for right now, and I'll show that off a little bit later. But this is on a ball joint, really more for the neck. He's got 2 little silver stickers here on the legs. You can move the legs here. That does move back and forth, and then you have some movement here for the talons, as well as a swivel for the talons. And then of course you have a hinge for the wings, as well as a movement point there. The head can move, and you do have a beak that opens as well. So this is all paint. I think the only stickers he has is the 2 little silver strips there, and then on the head, this is a sticker. Now it's put over paint, So this is painted red, but then they give you a sticker to put over it. And then these stickers right here with the white stripes, these are all paint, but up here with the white stripes, it's one sticker on each side. So not a ridiculous amount of stickers, but there are a few. This is all paint up here on the wings. But yeah, Gao Eagle looks pretty great. Next up, Gao Shark. He has the opening closing jaw. He has a little bit of movement here in the front fins. He can kind of wiggle a little bit side to side. And then the tail is one solid piece. This will move down later for the sword. But as far as the shark goes, not too much in terms of articulation. But he looks pretty good. This is a sticker here, one silver sticker on each side. And then one little silver sticker here on each side for the fin. And then he's got this sticker here on this kind of shoulder pad for the robot mode. But I think that's it for him. Everything else is painted or a different colored plastic, so he looks good. Next up, Gao Tiger. She probably has the most stickers of anyone. The face and mouth are fully painted, but this is one sticker on each side of the face. This is a sticker up here. The two pink stripes are stickers. This black stripe is a sticker. These two stripes are stickers. I believe there are, let's see, all of this right here and here is a sticker. Everything around the side of the leg is a sticker. And then these two pieces down here are stickers. So she probably has the most of anyone. Head can turn side to side. Head can kind of go up and down a little bit. Mouth opens. You have some movement here because this just kind of pegs in. So there's a very little bit of movement there. But you do have movement here. Just kind of a double joint there. Right here and here. And then you have movement at the paw, but just kind of a swivel. You have a little bit of movement here, but this is really for the elbow articulation later on. This can kind of move around. You have a swivel here. This is one piece. And then you have a swivel again at the paw. And then you can move the tail around a little bit. That can swing down. But yeah, she looks good. Definitely the most sticker heavy. But they apply pretty well, and they do look good when you're done. And then last but certainly not least, we have Bison. He's a big boy. He looks really good. Stickers here on these two pieces in the front. These gold stickers here. But all of this is paint. The eyes are painted. The mouth does open and close. If I can get it to do so. I promise. There it goes. Opened a little bit too wide now. There we go. So mouth can open and close. You have a little bit of head movement, but that's really mostly for the transformation. I guess technically you can turn it a little bit side to side as well, but that's really more for the transformation as well. Don't really have any articulation in the legs. I mean, they can move a little bit, but it's really just for the transformation. But yeah, he's definitely easily the biggest of the five. But he looks good. And it's nice. All of this is paint. All of this on the side is paint. It's just these stickers here on the side, these two. So two on each side. They're actually in the center as well. We'll see that when we do the transformation. But yeah, all five of these I think look absolutely fantastic. So let's go ahead. Let's get into the transformation. So I guess we'll do the kind of like midway transformation that they do on the show. But first off, we'll start with Bison. We'll put him in the sled configuration because you can do that. So you go ahead and open this up. This is going to fold back. And then this is going to fold forward. Like so. Then you're going to fold up the legs. And you can see that they have wheels under here. Now the way these legs work, you kind of have to slide them back a little bit. They're on a bit of a slide here. So you kind of push it back a little bit. And then this can fit under here. So slide that down a little bit. I want to make sure that I'm sliding them the equal amount on both sides here. There we go. So that folds in there, and then you can see that there are tiny little wheel sections that fold out here. So there you go. You have kind of that sled mode that the others can ride on. And then you can kind of sit eagle here. However you'd like to configure them. But they can roll ride on here. So you have kind of that sled mode, which is kind of fun. But if we're actually transforming him into the robot, this is going to fold back, and then this is going to fold back like this. Whoops, I forgot to push the wheel pieces back in. Have to make sure you do that. Alright, so we can kind of leave this out like so. Next up, we're going to take Lion. We're going to fold the legs back, rotate them around. Then you'll just kind of fold these down and just kind of push this in as much as you can. You can't push it all the way down, but this will come around, and then this will just kind of tuck in like that. And then these legs will pop up and fit into this little area here. You kind of want these front paws to be level with the rest of what will be the torso. So swing this around. And some of these joints can be a little tight, but that's actually a good thing. So there you go. Lion's pretty much done. Going to take Shark, fold up the two fins, kind of pull him away a little bit from the body, and then we will swivel him around like so. And then he can peg on here on the side. There you go. Next, we're going to take Tiger. You actually have to completely remove the front legs so that you can bring them around and tuck them in, because there's just not clearance to do it with them still connected to the body. And then you just peg them back in. But they tuck up really nice, as you can see. So once again, we will unpeg this, spin this around, fold this up inside, peg that back in there. Now these you kind of have to pull apart the back legs a little bit to make clearance for the tail. And then once you do that, you can bring these around, and then this tail will fold all the way in against the body like so. And then you have to tuck in the feet, and these will tuck in to the legs like so. And then you can kind of bring these down, and then once you do that, you can peg that together. And there you go, we have the tiger arm. So then we're going to take this and peg this in over here. And then this, you can see that there's a peg hole right there, and there's a peg right there. So this will come in and peg on top of that. And then for this mode, you're just supposed to kind of sit the eagle on top. And this is that kind of like halfway transformation that they do on the show before they finish off the robot mode configuration. So it is possible to go ahead and do this kind of halfway mode. This is almost, it kind of reminds me of like the tank mode from Gaoranger before they fully complete into the robot. So we have something similar here like this. So let me zoom back out. We will remove eagle. We will go ahead and flip this out like so. Now at this point you want to go ahead and remove the shark tail because it's going to get in the way if you don't. So we'll just unpeg this, and this just kind of slides out like that. Then we're going to, now before we do that, actually we should probably do, there's a 45-degree angle swivel here, and you want to just be careful because there are these two front skirts that can get in the way if you're not careful. So we want to swivel this around. And I feel like no matter what I do, this back skirt piece always flips off, because these skirt pieces always get stuck. And it's really kind of annoying. But you can swivel this around. There's some clearance issues, but we can get it around. Alright, you know what? I'm just going to take this off temporarily, just because it's easier. So swivel that. There we go. And then you have these skirt pieces here. So there is some movement where this can kind of swivel from side to side, and these pieces, if you kind of push them up, they get in the way a little bit less, but you can kind of push the head down like so, and then you want to kind of just angle the horns at like a 45-degree angle. At this point, we can straighten out the legs. We can separate them. You're going to come around to the back. You're going to flip this panel Then you're going to flip this panel down, and then you're going to close this up, and you'll hear it kind of snap into place. This flips up, this flips around, and then that snaps into place. Now these are pretty much already down, so they can stay as they are. These are going to come around, and you have to use that slide again to pull them all the way out. And then we can swivel this into place. You want to kind of swivel this back down. You'll hear it snap, and then that sits like that. So you kind of have to pull it forward to get the clearance, and then you'll swivel it back down, and it'll click into place, and then go all the way against. And there you go. So now we have the lower legs done. All right, so I'm going to zoom out. We're going to take this section and peg this back in now that there are no clearance issues. So we will peg this back in here like so. You can kind of spread the legs apart. You also have a bit of an ankle tilt. It's really more just cosmetic more than anything, but you can kind of tilt the toes there a little bit so that you can kind of spread the legs a little bit. Now at this point, we're just going to kind of bring these down. Now the way these shoulder pieces work, you can kind of extend this out. It's got kind of an accordion thing going on there. And there's also a swivel, although the swivel up is very tight on mine. So it's up to you. If you want to give it a little bit more space, if you want to tuck it all the way in, you can. It's completely up to you. So we just kind of tilt this up. You're going to want to bring this out a little bit. You can kind of bring it into about where you think it looks good. Then you can get that elbow bend, move this in. And the same with this. You can kind of pull this away a little bit to kind of get more of the elbow bend. We're going to turn the tiger head 90 degrees. So we're pretty much done, as you can see. I'm going to go ahead and bend the lion tail down. So now we just have Gao Eagle to attach. We're going to want to bring this up, bring the wings kind of in the formation that they need to be in. You're going to want to bring the head up like so. And then you want to bring the eagle legs back, and they just kind of sit out here. But you can see here that there's kind of like a little divot on the side of the legs, and that's going to kind of loosely tab into two little divots, and I'll see if I can get a little bit closer. You can see there's kind of like a little piece of plastic on the inside of right there and there. So this is going to drop down and click into there. At this point, we want to bring the lion head forward, and then we can press this piece down. As you can't see that, let me zoom out a little bit. So we bring the lion head forward. We press this piece down. This is going to tab in there, as I mentioned. But what really cements this together, after you kind of get that tabbed in, you might want to have to bring up the eagle legs a little bit more. Bringing this down and feeding this into that little gap is what really brings this together and kind of solidifies it. And then you can kind of push the eagle head down, and then you can bring this around, and then just kind of push the eagle feet. I got to close up the talons. I think that's what's giving me issues. And that talon just completely fell off. And it's not a problem if it does, because they just clip right back on. So let me just pop that back on there. Or don't. I swear this will go back on. Well, I'll deal with it later. It's not a big deal. So these will kind of be here like this. And then we can kind of, let me zoom out some more, straighten this out. And there you go. We have pretty much GaoKing done, but you can see that the head is not quite done. So what you want to do is kind of, oh, this is not, come on now. I swear I've done this a couple times now, and I've really not had as much trouble as, of course, when I start filming. There we go. So we want to lift this up. It might be easier just to take the head off to do it, because this really keeps trying to pop out. So let me zoom in here. We have the head. And how this works, this piece here, it's usually pushed in. And it is a little difficult to do when it's not attached. I guess I will need the ball joint to show this to you. So you just kind of lightly, just hold this in place. So this lifts up, then you want to spin it around, push it down, and then just rotate the head over. So you do get two different head options, which is pretty cool. At first here, we have the screaming face. And then if we lift this up and spin it around and close it down again, you have kind of the normal face. And that's all painted. There's no stickers for the face or anything like that. But yeah, he looks really cool. I like him a lot. Doesn't have too much kibble. You have a little bit of the lion and eagle legs back here, but I can fix that up a little bit. And like I said, you have this movement here in the shoulder, so if you want to go in and out, you kind of have a butterfly joint. You could even pull it out further if you wanted to, if you like that look a little bit more. You do have a hinge, so you can go up and down. Of course, you have a rotation there. You do have, I think she's got a double jointed elbow over here on the tiger, and you have a bicep swivel. You can swivel the head around as the hand. Same movement over here. This swivels. You have a one joint there. You can open up the shark mouth. Now, the shark mouth has a little connector in there for the sword, which is a little difficult to get out the first couple times. It's a little bit easier the more it loosens up. But you can kind of open that up, and now you can see that there's kind of a loop in there. You have two sword options. So this is the actual tail of the shark. And you can hinge that up, and then you can have that sword. Or they do just pack in a second sword, which is much longer and bigger, and I think just generally looks better. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one. And you just feed it into this little loop right here. And then there you go. We have our shark sword. That looks really great. I love the look of that. You do have a waist swivel here. You have kick out to the side, kick forward, kick back very minimally. You can't really kick back all that much, but you can a little bit. Certainly out to the side is probably the most articulation in the hip area. You do have a thigh swivel. You have a knee bend, as you can see. And then, like I said, you have that kind of fake ankle tilt. It's not real, but it just kind of helps him stand a little better with that front little piece there. Kind of the toe swivel, I guess I'll call it. But yeah, he looks great. He really does. I mean, he's such a nice build. The robot mode, I think, looks fantastic. Great amount of articulation. Yes, there are a few stickers, but not really where it counts. Here are the stickers on the inside that I was telling you about. Right there and there. But they apply well. They stay on pretty good. This back skirt has a little bit of movement, and you can see that there's a stand peg hole right there. So if you want to go ahead and put it on a stand, you can. But yeah, really, really very nice. I'm really impressed with this. I mean, I'm always pretty impressed with Super Mini Pla, or Shokugan Modeling Project, as it's now called. But yeah, he looks great. I'm really excited for Gao Knuckle. And they just showed off Gao Hunter as well. So we're definitely going to have some more coming down the line. But yeah, absolutely fantastic. I think this guy's absolutely fantastic. I'm kind of in love with him, I gotta be honest. And I'm super excited for the next two releases we have coming down the line. It transforms exactly like the DX toy, so if you've handled that figure at all, not really any surprises here. But they just did such a great job. I mean, it's such a perfect mold. It looks fantastic. Great articulation, great paint applications. Just a few stickers. Honestly, each box had only a handful of stickers, and they really apply pretty easily, and they stay on pretty well, and they look great. I'm super blown away by this. I really am. Super Mini Pla continues to impress. I know they have a new name now, but it's still the same quality. Everything looks really, really cool. And they're just fun little figures. It was a fun build. All the mecha look great. The combined mode looks good. And once we get a few more of these sets, we're going to be able to mix and match the arms and things like that, which is going to be a lot of fun. If I had to complain about one thing, it's just that the eagle doesn't hook in as much as I'd like it to. But I think if it hooked in too well, it would be a little bit too difficult to disassemble. So I guess that's just kind of a trade-off that they had to make. But honestly, other than that, he really holds together well. And I wouldn't even say it's a problem. Only when I'm trying to change the head is when it really kind of lifts up. But as long as you hold it in place, you can lift the head and spin it to get the other face. It's really not that big a deal. But I really like the inclusion of the second face. I think that's really fun because he did have that growling face on the show, especially during the transformation. So that's really cool. But yeah, all in all, it's just a really great set. And another thing I really like about it, he doesn't really have a ton of like miscellaneous pieces. Everything, you know, it's either the 5 mecha or it's the robot. You don't really have too many pieces sitting off to the side. The only thing is the shark tail if you decide to go with the larger sword that they included. then you'd have this one piece hanging off to the side. Other than that, he's pretty compact. He stays together well. All the pieces are accounted for. I really can't recommend him enough. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.